Share the video yet? Well, let's start to share the video yet. We're at 104. We can start to talk at 104. Share the video, man, so we can actually get down into a conversation. Or is it too late to have a video tonight? Because I really exhausted and I have no problem going and sleep. So y'all tell me, if we can't get it above 300, it don't make sense. If we can't get it above 300 people, it ain't making sense, because I think I worth more than that. So it's 115 right now. What would it take to get us to 300? Because we have some issues to discuss, and I'd like to be doing it with everyone. So if all 125 people who are on the live right now share the video and get one more person, that's 250. So let's share the video, please. Share the video everywhere you could, and I will wait. Yeah? Tell me, what you want to do? Play a song and wait? 128. Keep moving.
Hey, senor! You see anything that is fast, yeah? You must know that. Big fat man with blue money in the pocket. You don't see that, senor? No, man.
Talking about every Trinidadian show me this whole rattle thing. They're living like lords, but they come to live there like king. As they get a little money in their pocket, they hide in the cacada. And when you miss them, scam on them, they somewhere in China. So it's not Panama now, it's China. Because Panama used to hide stolen money for PNM minister. And if you want to know who thief money in the PNM, request everybody's passports. And anybody who went Panama, audit their ass. Any PNM who went China, in bubble and racket any one of them. But I want to talk to my brothers and sisters in the PNM tonight. Because today I said something on the show and certain peppers took umbrage that I said it. But I want everybody in Trinidad to know that but for the bandits at the top, all of we is one family, you know. All the good people in the PNM, even though they've made stupid decisions, because let me tell all you this. In 2010, I, having left the Congress of the People over the mad decision Winston Dukaran made to join with Kamala in 2010, I, having donated computers to Nicole Dyer Griffith office in Diego Martin Central and Rocky Garcia candidacy in Diego Martin West, under Catherine Stolmeyer White, I donated 6 computers. When the COP joined with the UNC, I terminated my membership, and in 2010, I voted for Keith Rowley. Because I couldn't vote COP, because COP was now COP UNC, and I couldn't vote for Rocky Garcia. Couldn't. And in fact, when I had donated those computers to Catherine Stolmeyer White, we knew it was Nicole Dyer Griffith, but we wasn't sure it was Rocky Garcia and Diego Martin West. I'll tell you something. Rocky's a nice guy. Me and Rocky grew up together. Grew up. Thief policeman bicycle together with little boys. Grew up storm oval together on the back of a Brinks truck. Grew up together in Woodbrook. But Rocky's not a politician. Worse, Rocky's nobody's representative. Not a member of parliament. Come on, man. That's the nation's legislature. Anybody who know Rocky knew the Congress of the People was making a joke. But the Congress of the People was doing what Jack Warner told them to do. And what Jack Warner told them to do is do anything to fool people. Just get a vote. Just get a vote. Just get a vote. They want to smoke weed, let them smoke weed. They want to drive PH taxi, let them drive PH taxi. Whatever they want to do, let them do. Let me just get a vote. Let me just get their vote. So they put Rocky, because like they put Anil. Look at what you get with Anil. You could imagine if you had 2 Anil in that parliament for the 2010-2015. You could imagine if we had 2. That's what Rocky is. In fact, they used to well line going into the first year of the People's Partnership. But all that aside, we have to realize that we have not had choice. So when you have to decide to vote for Keith Rowley in 2010 because you can't vote for Rocky Garcia, I almost couldn't vote at all. And in 2010, we were fooled. In 2010, we thought Keith Rowley was a man of character and integrity. All of us in 2009, when they marked bus with Rowley, and Rowley pulled down Manning, because Manning was a real son of a bitch, eh? Manning was destroying the country, but lo and behold, Satan brings Satan, because Rowley's a worse Satan. But we'll get to that. The point I want to make, because I need to wake up the PNM people, and I need them to get vexed. Not with me, hopefully. Do we have a live now? It was stuck for a minute. As it stuck, I stopped. So you missed nothing. As it stuck, video feed not great today, tonight, tomorrow, next week. No, it's not going to be great. because they're going to time it. And once I am on, we're going to get pressure. Yeah? So I just took it off of Flow and I put it on Be Mobile. Share the video again. And let's get back into the conversation. We already start yet, you know. So we already start yet. But let's get above the 200 number. I'm going to share. I didn't get a chance to share just now. I'm going to share now. You share, please. Share again. Share it on everybody. Is it sticking that bad right now? Because I can reboot it. We can start over if you want. Yeah, we can start over if you want. Let's see. Share the video. And let's see what we can get. Because it's disgusting. This is... I think what I'm going to do, switch to Digicel. Big brother, it was Digicel, not Flow, that was just sticking. We have everything. We have every friggin' feed. All of them doing the same thing. So, I think what we're going to have to do, I'm not going to be able to interact with y'all, but I think what we're going to have to do, Digicel is 1% friend. I think what I'm going to have to do is just record these videos and then just upload it to the YouTube feed. So, anyway, to the PNM. No one could explain to me who exactly summoned a sitting Prime Minister, Patrick Manning, to a house in the West and fired him in 2009. Yeah. I remember that? You remember when Patrick Manning, who was the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, was summoned to a house in the West and fired, and he had to go and call a snap election? Remember that? How about who appointed Keith Rowley as political leader of the PNM? Any of you all know? When Manning was ousted, when they pelt Manning after they lost the election in 2010, and they pelt Manning with rotten mango in Balize Yard, anybody know who it is say, your turn, Rowley, you be political leader? Because Rowley wasn't second in command. He wasn't deputy political leader. In fact, he was nowhere in Manning's good graces. Manning almost didn't let him run for Diego Martin West. Rowley bring people down to Balize House to riot in 2010. To riot outside Balize House to fight Diego Martin West. And I remember, they gave him no money. He ended up with a little tent, 2 chairs and a light bulb, and it's only him and this lady from Penelope Beckles. I think it was Penelope Beckles. If you don't remember, I'm telling you, they gave no money. Somebody summoned Manning and fired him. Somebody made Keith Rowley political leader of the PNM. And I'm asking the actual members, rank and file PNM people, who catching all your ass, because no matter which version of the PNM come to office, Eric Williams and his white boys, Patrick Manning and his white and Chinese boys, Keith Rowley and his Syrian boys, it doesn't matter which version of the PNM comes to power, the only boys that not getting nothing is black boys. The only people who suffer under the PNM is black people. And you have to have that conversation. And I'm asking you, PNM members, who fired Manning? Who called him to the meeting of Syrians in the West and fired him? Who? And who appointed Rowley? And who attached 2 little Syrian boys onto him? Who walk all over town and say they own the PNM now? Who made that decision? Who did that? It wasn't y'all. It wasn't the Fatah's Brigade. It wasn't any of your councils and all of these things that all you talk and all you pretend and all you have. Who parachuted Johnny Sukaran into the PNM? Who? Who did that? Who told Manning even though the party was dissolved in 2010, the parliament was dissolved, who it is told Manning to sign that lease for Faris Al-Rawi? Who? Who told Manning to sign that one Alexandra place for Faris Al-Rawi, aka Johnny Sukaran? Who? Who parachuted Johnny Sukaran into the PNM for all from 2010 to be the PRO? Who? Not rank and file PNM members. Y'all wasn't in that. Who just dropped Stuart Young on y'all out to the clear blue 1 week before elections call in 2015? Who? Who dropped Stuart Young on y'all? Who made that decision? Not rank and file PNM members. Not y'all. Who it is, tell Rowley. Justin Phelps going and run for Diego Martin Central and make Rowley pull up half-white boy Justin Phelps on a stage somewhere and say, raise his hand in the air and say, this is a PNM member for life. If Justin Phelps didn't get himself in trouble beating his ex-girlfriend, man, he just get convicted of that. A couple of weeks ago, he just get convicted of that. Found guilty. Caught. If it wasn't for that, you'd have never know about Rumpa Man Daryl Smith, because Justin Phelps was Diego Martin Central. Justin Phelps was supposed to come in the Senate. Faris, Justin, shorty boy. Where all the little hard-working black lawyers? I want Candace Grandsoul, who her and her family die hard PNM. Candace's work for the PNM, the Grandsoul family, is work hard for the PNM. Were you all consulted? Were you all given an opportunity? Were you all given a job? What did you all get? How did it feel? I want to ask Dane Wilson. Dane Wilson is an ex. He's a real jackass. Dane Wilson has backtalked me and smear up my name and assassinate my character. But all of that aside, Dane Wilson works hard for the PNM. How come Dane Wilson, the only thing he ever get was a little wall to build, a CPEP wall under Manning that he built? That's it. How come nothing for Dane? I never see, before 2010, never see Faris Al-Rawi, Stuart Young, Justin Phelps, fellas like them, fighting Simon de Nobrega. Simon de Nobrega is a big boy in the PNM, Diego Martin Regional Corporation. How come Dane Wilson didn't get that? I never see Simon de Nobrega fighting for the PNM like Dane Wilson is fighting for him. What it is about Rowley and light skin, and I want to know, because they offer me the post, you know. When we were on the round table marching against Section 34 in 2012, they offered me Diego Martin Central. They was offering it to any pink skin, but not Amory Brown. Amory Brown knew he was fired the moment he refused to follow Rowley against Manning. He knew he was fired. Rowley was purging the party. But he was replacing PNM diehards who built the PNM with people that they just parachute. Don't get me wrong. It can't be nothing wrong with white people. It can't be nothing wrong with Syrian people. It can't be nothing wrong with Chinese people. It can't be nothing wrong with Indian people. That's not what I'm saying. But why is it the PNM don't like black people? Why? And what did they do to my brothers and sisters, the grandchildren of Africa, that have them stick up there? No, I understand. I understand. Satmaraj and the UNC could make people vote for Lucifer. I understand that. I understand. Sat is a contemptible jackass. And to watch his and the UNC's racism, because Eric Williams backed them into a corner. Eric Williams make sure he follow the British model, divide and rule. So he tell the Indian, oh, they have nothing to get. Or there's a recalcitrant minority. Go beyond the Caroni Bridge. I remember that. I remember that. And I feel that the 56 years that passed, especially the last 30 playing Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Winston Dukaran have 2 carpet to get because the Congress of the People was building something. The Congress of the People was building something, but Winston Dukaran is a lazy man. All he wants is accolades. Hang shit from him. He's like a Christmas tree. All the time he in government, in politics, all around politics. He's not really done anything of value for anybody. And he was the wrong man to lead the COP. The absolute wrong, worst man. Winston Dukaran was the worst man to lead the Congress of the People. Now, even he had his little cult followers, Nalini Dial and Wendell Eversley and them, following him around the place. Everybody, and people will tell you in the PEP, if you come and you're trying to play that shit with me, you end up on the other side of me. Because I want that. I am just me. Will always be just me. All I'm interested in is a better country. I don't have the energy to manage a cult. So I'm not interested in being deified. Don't make me a king. Don't do that shit. I'm not on that. That is not for me. My job is to work, fix Trinidad and Tobago, and enjoy the rest of my whatever life left after that. But the Congress of the People ruined our best chance. And what the PEP is trying to do right now is salvage something. We're trying to spin cloth out of air. We're trying to make something that really and truly, the time may well have passed. The time may well have passed. And we're trying hard. No other political party in this country's history has had a political meeting every single week. We have a political meeting every single week. They have had weeks where we've had political meetings, public gatherings, and rallies. And there will come times where we will have cottage meetings, public meetings, rallies. But we have a political meeting every Saturday at noon. No party, no NAR, no COP, no UNC, no People's Partnership, no PNM, no AOI, no ILP. Nobody has ever done that. Besides being anything else. This is the hardest working political party in this country's history. We're not playing the fool. Rajesh, slow down with the constant postings. It's distracting. This is the hardest working party in this country's history. Every Saturday, we meet and greet the public. Every Saturday. And we have public rallies. I've lost count. Our position is inform, educate, empower. A Saturday is my hardest working day. A Saturday is exhausting. The fact that the Congress of the People allowed itself to be marginalized showed that Winston Dukaran had no idea. And those fellas was just hustling down a position and a walk. I used to go on my Sunday mornings once a month. They would have a Congress of the People meeting in Caroni, and I would go and I would listen to them arguing. We in government now. How come we not getting URP projects? How come we not getting CPEPs? How come we're not getting state boards? And the fight down and the argument in every single Congress of the People meeting had nothing to do with why aren't we influencing policy? How do we live up to the promises we made? It was all about how do we eat now? Eat our freaking food. And the Congress of the People destroyed it. Destroyed that third party road that they walked. They destroyed it. We, the Progressive Empowerment Party, are literally building back the road. I talk the way I talk so that when the middle class and the high class feel they're too classy to walk with me, I glad. Say it publicly. I had a little Syrian girl giving me a set of talk this week, and I glad. Let them know I'm not 1%. Show them, or they never consider me. I was never Syrian enough. No. For a little while there, or they get a little twitchy, or they get a little antsy, or they say, what? We create a league? No. We create nothing. Where Philip Edward Alexander reaches not because of y'all, it's in spite of y'all, by sticking up in there. Sticking up in there. Because I want to say to Trinidad and Tobago, they have a lot of good Syrian people. A lot. The vast majority of Syrian people are good people, but they're quiet and they're humble people. And their names are being smeared by some dastardly, deviant, devious, corrupt, criminal, nasty people. Nasty criminals. Nasty. And they're destroying the good name of the Syrian people who worked hard to establish community ties in this country. And at some point, if you put the Progressive Empowerment Party in government, we will bring all of them to justice. Not a man will escape. Not a man will get away. But the Congress of the People destroyed this country's best chance, and I feel sorry for the people who voted for the Congress of the People. You see Anil Roberts, Lincoln Douglas, and Roger Samuel, those three got into Parliament because PNM people voted COP in Arima, Dabadi O'Meara, and whatever was the third one. Those three people, Lincoln Douglas, Anil Roberts, Roger Samuel, end up in the Parliament because people in Arima and Dabadi O'Meara in that area were PNM people, and they voted Congress of the People expecting that they would be treated to the promises that the COP made. And the Congress of the People, Winston Dukaran and Prakash Ramadar, both betrayed those people's trust. Both of them, Ramajay, Anil Roberts, Ramajay, on votes he never worked for, votes he never earned, votes he didn't own. And that is why the Congress of the People is as dead as it is now. And after the next election, Prakash Ramadar can win a bingo in this country. They could put him to run, I can't think of a UNC safe seat. I can't think of a UNC safe seat that they could put Prakash Ramadar to run that he could win. Prakash Ramadar and David Abdullah is two sides of the same political opportunistic coin. And I try so hard with Prakash. I want to tell you all, I try so hard with Prakash. And every now and then he would call me on the phone, we would talk, and he would try and say the right things. He would say the right things and then have no substance to follow it up. It's like Stephen Cadiz. Stephen Cadiz broke people's hearts because Stephen Cadiz came into politics as an activist on Keep Noel 236, Keep Noel 186, 236, I can't remember. Came into Parliament on Keep Noel's dead body. And for 5 years and 3 months, forget Keep Noel. Take every kind of ministry he could have find. Fix himself, fix his wife, fix his child. Didn't fix Keep Noel. And come back outside now and saddling up with a UNCC team. The also-rans that had get sucked in when the PNM was getting voted into oblivion. Anybody could have won. Gavin Nicholas nearly win in Diego Martin Northeast. Nicole Dyer Griffith nearly win in Diego Martin Central. Rocky Garcia nearly win in Diego Martin West. Hundreds of votes in places that had 12 and 13,000 votes. Hundreds of votes. They nearly lost those 3 seats too. It was a suck. People wanted Manning gone so bad. People wanted Manning gone so bad, I tell you. They would have voted Lucifer, Beelzebub, and all of the hordes of hell just to get rid of nasty, nasty Manning. And Trinidadians' minds so short that when Kamala started to do her shit and Manning dropped dead, we're talking about burying Manning in the cathedral. I tell people that's why in the earthquake the cross fall. All you break the spirit of the cathedral. All you break the spirit in the cathedral. Even in that coffin, Patrick Manning was to be prosecuted. Patrick Manning was a nasty, nasty man. And I know that there were a lot of people who personally benefited from him. So they feel a loyalty to him. Because I'm saying this to you. If I get your dog for 3 weeks and I feed your dog twice a day for 3 weeks, your dog will forget you and love me. And it is a shame, an indictable, damnable shame, that people in this country, black people especially, could be so low that a prime minister could feed them like dog and get their loyalty. People should be in this country educated, informed, and have a life from which to make a political choice based on a direction they think they want our country to go. But we've never had that as a conversation. We are down in the, we're not even in the latrine, we're in the soak away. We ain't reached the septic tank yet. We're in the freaking soak away. We down where the shit is gathered. Because we don't talk issues in Trinidad and Tobago. What the Progressive Empowerment Party does, no other party does. Today I go to share the Ministry of Works licensing office is now automated with Links machine. And I want to say another PEP policy, changing the national conversation without being in office, making your life better just by steering the hands of government and opposition. Could you imagine if you put a Progressive Empowerment Party government into office? Because I want to tell you something. Gary Griffith, the reason he is the only minister I could have worked with is I see eye to eye with Gary. I have that same mission. I have a point to prove. And I want to tell you, in 5 years, we could diversify the economy, right-size education, first world healthcare, make home ownership for all a reality, and create more jobs than there are people in this country. First world sustainable jobs from which you could build a career. 5 years. In 5 years, on the other side of that 5 years, if all you have thing to cuss about is the color of sweetie paper and how tough chewing gum still is, because all they will forget that road used to have hole and pipe used to be empty. You ever open your pipe and it sing for you? You ever open your pipe and it shake up and vibrate and sing a soca song for you? First it had no water. We will make you forget that. We will make you forget the failure of local government when it is abolished and replaced with a constituency board of supervisors in all 41 constituencies, so that every constituency will work and you can measure your constituency against your neighbors. It ain't going to be enough to say there's a PNM, there's a UNC, because it can't work so anymore. You will forget that there was a time when they would have Junior Sammys and Kusals and Calcos and Ishes and all of these overnight shit snake billionaires who just attach themselves to a political party, one for you, one for me, because under a Progressive Empowerment Party government, all work done in your constituency must be done by companies registered in your constituency, by workers from your constituency. So they have no more overnight trillionaires. No more. And you will forget that. You will forget Moonan moved mountains and Sammy moved the treasury. You'll forget those things. You'll forget that. You will forget that the nation used to flood, because Trinidad is a dot. And fixing the flooding real easy, but they needed the flood to distract you. Like they need the traffic. I watch the traffic every single day. Every single day to come out of town from movie town, where all those 40-foot containers dump out of the port. Why at that time? Jesus Christ alone knows. To join the traffic, heading east and making everybody's life misery. Traffic light by traffic light. People paying leapfrog, running up Arapita Avenue, running up to Warren Street, running up to Tragrit Road, trying to bypass the same freaking Colville Street traffic light that they could have made an overpass long time. $2 million, problem solved. But this is not a real country. And we've been broken in our minds to the point where we don't vote anymore. The first song I played tonight is We Jamming Still. And I play it for you to feel like we don't care. We care. we can stink, we can dirty. But we have to know what it means for a nation to become this jaded, this desensitized to politics, for a nation to become this dokey. It took a lot of hard abuse. You could beat the spirit out of a man, you know. They used to beat black people till you could take off the chain and they wouldn't run, you know. You could beat the spirit out of a man. That's what the PNM do. The UNC do it too. Everything that is wrong in this country could be fixed. You don't need Petrotrin to win to survive, you know. You don't need it. There will be a cost to the refined fuels that we use, and somebody is setting themselves up to benefit from that. But you don't need Petrotrin for us to be successful. You don't need, and you see, you have to understand the games that they're playing, the things that we're trying to tell you, look at. Sandals is joint venture, is consortium, co-conspirators of corrupt sons of bitches coming to Trinidad and Tobago. What they get away, what Rahal and Rowley and them get away with Milshirv, they go in and try and do 2.7 billion times with scandals. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to stop seeing PNM and UNC as the only political parties in this country. Because if you do, then your tonic will stay bitter and your sickness will last forever. They have no way, none whatsoever, no person of any class or character, regardless of how poor, regardless of how undereducated you are, you cannot defend the PNM tonight. You cannot. You cannot defend the PNM. And worse, you cannot forget what the UNC did. You cannot forget Anand Ramlogan. You cannot forget Surud Rambachan. You cannot forget Vasant Bharat. You cannot forget Jerry Hadid and what they do. And I know Jerry Hadid don't want me to talk. And I see that it make the papers. Jerry Hadid and Icon with Lewis and Dial are waiting to see where that go. But you can't forget what the UNC do. The UNC thief by truckload and go. The UNC corrupted the National Lotteries Control Board and was taking National Lotteries money, laundering it through CNMG and sharing it out. Sharing it out for friends inside the UNC. I used to watch this thing. They have information. But I know it's not going anywhere. If it come real close to a prosecution, they go stop. Because everybody in PNM and everybody in UNC is family at that level. At the level of the crookedness. At the level of the crookedness is family. And they don't give a ass about you. They hire people to say the right words. But they don't have a single black person in this country stupid enough to believe that $3 trillion later, they're responsible for more of Abitam Labantel and Silot. You can't tell me that and then tell me that the people of Goodwood Park get there on their own. Miss me with that bullshit. This country is deliberately designed the way it is. The owners of the PNM do not share. They do not share, and the UNC learned that. Basdeo Pandey walked up and down this country talking about a parasitic oligarchy that as soon as he won the election, he went to play golf with. He went to play golf with. Remember when he made Lindsay Gillett the Minister of Logjam? Only remember that. And the Minister of Logjam gave his family all manner of contracts. Fellas like Chinley, whose entire fortune is built on government contract and easement. I heard today that the debt, the government debt owed to TSTT is being purchased by a company run by Stuart Young's brother. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it is true. But I heard that a company run by Stuart Young, brother, I can't remember Stuart Young brother's name, I didn't even know Stuart Young had a brother, is buying the debt 70 cents on the dollar from TSTT. And then the government will settle with them. So if it's $100 million, that's a fast $30 million profit. We're providing a service, debt reduction, my ass. This country has to wake up and stand up. And you see all these people who every week somebody wants to march for peace, march for war, march for left, march for right, march for south, march for north. Miss me with your bullshit until you have a plan. Stop. And you see Stefan Rees? Stefan, I know what to do here. So I gave you a long rope, brother. Last night you do a video and you say they have nobody fighting for this country. Bro, all you're getting all your cruise ship money, all your cooler cruise money, and all your party money. Only the Progressive Empowerment Party is working as hard as we are working. And you're a son of a bitch to pretend, bring in little jackass Diana Kelly or Petrochan security guard or sooner, wannabe former PEPs to whisper bullshit in your ear and them have nothing to do and nowhere to go. Today I watched a former PEP write my entire words out on a piece of paper and try to pass it off as his own. No integrity whatsoever. But you know what I also watch? 2 likes. 2 likes. 2 likes. When Diana Kelly went on Synergy TV with Stefan Rees, the next week, she had hot. She's a big star. Put out a video. 467 views. When Dominic Kalipasad brought former DNA Kirk Megu and Susan Lauer on their station to talk political choice. How is that a choice? Nobody in that room have an idea of how to fix anything. Everybody could come and tell you, march for what wrong. Only the Progressive Empowerment Party is telling you how to fix this country, how to do it step by step. This is the only party from the moment it was formed, Kenneth Luke was brought on board and we set up something called the Advisory Council. The first party that has ever done this in this country's history. We had a litany of plans and policies and we set up an advisory council. We were looking for critical thinkers and people bright enough to understand these plans and policies, flesh them out and make them into programs, because we write in our budget, we write in a manifesto called Reboot the Republic, and we wanted to have an accompanying book called Just Push Play. So this is what we want to do, and this is how we're going to do it. So you could follow page by page, day by day, dollar by dollar, and you would know. You would know that by now, along the road that we said, if you put us in government, this would be done. No excuses, none whatsoever. There would be 2 ministers of finance the first 2 years. One to manage and right-size the current economy, the other to diversify it. Working side by side. A super ministry called the Ministry of Social Development and Management, under which education, social development, and national security are put. Because all of that together is social development and management. That is a master plan. And we have 5 pillars that we want to stand up on: education, healthcare, public works, public utilities, and security. We want to make sure that there are more jobs than people. And once you have a job and want to own a home, that you could. We've broken it down. When other people telling them about home ownership for all, ask them their plan. Because our plan is to take the VAT and the tax and stamp duty out of the houses, to reduce $1 million house to $500,000, and then remove the bank charges to move it from $500,000 to $250,000. A $250,000 house could attract a mortgage payment, 0 deposit, 0 interest for 30 years, $500 per thousand. That means $1,250 out of a minimum wage earner, $2,250 a month salary. Put 2 of them together, $4,500 a month. That falls 22%. The bank threshold is 40%. We could make sure even a baton twirler and a KFC floor mopper could own their own home. And the science says where the home ownership is high, the crime is low. And that if you put people to own their homes, then you're building the community. And if you zone the schools and make them 10-year schools, then Charlie children growing up with Mary children, growing up with Damraj children, and all of them growing up for 10 years in the school together, knitting the community together. Because they're living in a house that their mother and their father own. So they're not transient and nomads like we live in now. Today in Sawa, next week in Tunapuna, the week after in Diego Martin, trying to find a way to hold on and survive. The Progressive Empowerment Party has plans that all dovetail and link together and rebuilds the country. When we say that we are the party that wants to rebuild the community, I am watching other jackasses trying to copy and paste that without understanding what we mean. But a nation is a collection of communities. And that is why our politics has broken the country up into 5 hubs, 5 regions, North, East, Central, South, Tobago. Each of those regions are broken up into constituencies, each constituency into communities. Once you manage the communities at the neighborhood and the street level, you're managing people like a rising tide lifts all boats. We want to make sure not one member of this society is left behind. We have plans to treat with mental illness, with homelessness. We have a Second Chance Foundation. Second Chance Foundation is for the homeless. We want to make sure that mental illness is given the proper, dignified attention it deserves in this country. We treat mentally ill people like a joke and make their lives harder. We torment them. If I sit down with you and tell you, my sister told me the other day, in 45 seconds, I listen to you, redevelop this country. Trinidad and Tobago could have its borders protected to stop the flow of drugs and guns. Once you stop that, you motivate and incentivize a cleaned up police service. And you give them the opportunity to make good money working hard, above and beyond the call of duty. When you have the police service working in tandem in the community, remember, they will be operated by a constituency board of supervisors. There will be a supervisor of security for every constituency. The people living in the constituency could know the supervisor's name, his cell phone number. We having a problem, we having an emergency. When you have an emergency now, dial 999. And I bet you, 1 time out of 2, if not worse, you have reached the police emergency line. Please hold. You're in an emergency, but please hold. It is the insanity of how this country is run that you can't pick up the phone and dial the man in charge of your constituency or where you are and say, listen brother, crime going on now, we can't hold. There is an emergency going on now, you can't hold. If you want a better nation, you have to vote yourself a better nation. You have to be able to ask, because I told Kamala when she was in office, I was on Hema Ramkisoon's show. I remember that morning edition. I still have the picture. I used to use it as a profile picture. And I told Hema, I said, if Kamala Persad-Bissessar wanted to fix this country for black, white, red, green, and every shade in between, she would make home ownership for all a reality. Just use Home Mortgage Bank, First Citizens Bank, and the Unit Trust. Link those 3 and offer 0 deposit, 0 interest for 30 years up to $1.5 million for first-time homeowners. That will reduce the mortgage payment to $500 per 100,000. That means if you buy $1 million house, your mortgage payment is $5,000 a month. 2 public servants could buy a nice home for their family on that salary and leave excellent equity for their children when the time comes for them to shuffle off this mortal coil. As it is, drug lords and corrupt sons of bitches have bought up the real estate in this country and driven the price of houses through the roof. So the average person will never be able to afford, while you have drug lords and money launderers and corrupt sons of bitches, former ministers. I watch a former minister under the People's Partnership spend $60 million in house in Goodwood Park and Shorelands. I watched that with my own eyes. How you get $60 million to spend on house? And how does 2 houses cost $60 million? All of that is insanity. But you can't confront it. You can't confront it if you PNM and that is UNC. Or if you UNC and that is PNM. Because man had a hole in the corner. Because Indian can't live under black and black can't live under Indian. So they separate and divide you. So all you settling for crumbs and bullshit. When Harvey Boris realized today, because he brought me today to defend something, that I didn't have to defend. The callers did. The callers were saying, that man right. Explain it. Explain how 56 years later, Morva, Beetham, Laventille, and Sealots is what they are. Explain the lack of vision, PNM, UNC, NAR, that would mean that you land in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago at Piarco Airport and drive through the nation's largest ghetto and city dump to get to the capital. Explain that. Explain the lack of vision that would make that a reality. Explain the contempt the PNM felt for black people when Barack Obama, a black man himself, came to Trinidad and Tobago. They built a wall to hide Beta. Explain that. Explain that. And I want my black brothers and sisters to feel pride. Feel proud. You deserve to stand shoulder to shoulder with every race in this country. And the fact that you've been abused and misused and taken for granted for 56 years, it could change. And to my brothers and sisters of East Indian descent, who also have sad, sad stories to tell, who UNC come, UNC go, you're still living in squalor, mud between your toes, that they build box drain and collapsing, just to give friends and financiers money. All of it could fix. All of it could change. You can have a better country. You can have a proper job, regardless of if you live in 3rd Street, Barataria, or Malik, or Gonzales, or Never Dirty, or wherever you're coming out of. You're supposed to be able to get a job. You're supposed to be safe in your community. There are no gang painting, no color, no lampposts. A progressive empowerment party government will snatch all of them gang up. But you see PNM and UNC defending gang because they're playing their own little gang war for votes. How do I get you to understand that a nation this badly broken is deliberate and by design, and it doesn't have to stay so? A progressive empowerment party government will make it a frightening prospect to consider that you're a gang member. Boss, I know what they're talking about. I know how to spell gang. I want to tell you something. Under a real government, bandits will put down the gun on the ground and walk away, because they will know, as much as we come in with honey, we come in with real pepper. What is the brother call it? Cat piss and leather. But the police service will not only be for the small man. We will promise you, all of those who have done wrong in high and low places will be brought to justice. I like that the 1%'s cussing my name. Cuss it hard. Cuss my name. You all stink and dirty, destroy this country. I talk about a man all over the place trying to raise money to take his friend away because his friend dying. My friend dying. Help me, I need $1 million to take him away. I'm trying to take him away. Healthcare shit, I can't fix him here. And your friend died. But when you had the opportunity, you too thief money from the health sector, trying to take your friend away. This country does not have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way, but it could be better. It could be better. The truth of the matter is, we have too many people in this country that feel that all is so stupid that all you will continue to vote PNM and UNC. I am betting myself and all the work that we do and all the risk that we take, I am betting that I could draw on the ground a line that both Africans and East Indians will understand that there is nothing that racist voting could get for you that uniting can't. Uniting the people, the 99% of us, uniting us as one people under one flag, that is the solution to all of the problems in Trinidad and Tobago. Unite. Vote yourself a better nation. I want to tell you, we couldn't, they have nothing to thief. And but of them borrowing to thief right now. They have nothing to teach. When you come into office, we have to build an economy from scratch. The son of a bitch know that. They borrowing to thief. The IDB, the International Development Bank, say Trinidad wasting all the money. Trinidad government wasting all the money. We just get that post. We just share that. The IDB don't want to hear from them no more. Don't want to hear. So when they tell you we want to get at the treasury, trust me, it's not a treasury. I know it's a deficit. It's an overdraft. It's a hole. But I have faith in us as people to fix it and rebuild it and make it a country again. So we will do it. And I know that plenty of them 1%ers who made off with billions and hundreds of billions are coming to get our money back. You ain't gonna sleep sound. When you hear the Progressive Empowerment Party win Philip Edward Alexander as Prime Minister, don't pack. They have no way you can run that we ain't coming. No way. And we charge you the cost of the trip to find you. We coming for our money. You want to get away? Write the check now. Say, look, we know we thief $250 million. Look at here. We had it for 10 years, so $50 million interest. Look, $300 million. Just let we go now. And we'll think about it. We'll think about it. We will give you a little amnesty. Come and put back the money you stole. Boss, look the key for my house in Goodwood Park. Look the fancy cars that you see that I make videos to share on Facebook. I'm sorry, I apologize. They worth X amount. And when you sell them, if it ain't cover the debt, I will walk and make it and pay you. I promise. Just give you a chance. The Progressive Empowerment Party, very serious. Very, very serious. And we want former ministers. We want prime ministers. We want members of parliament. We want bank managing directors. We want chamber of commerce sitters. We want those sons of stunting bitches that join together in unholy conspiracy and damage this country. Plenty people in this nation, too many to count, have died ignoble deaths because of the greed of these sons of bitches. And I want to tell you all something. Mark it down. Mark it down. If it's one thing you're sure to see, if it's one thing, if it's one promise I sure to keep, is each and every one of them. You see all them fake contract, you'll pay back every cent. All them fancy trip you give your child to go to school in Paris, auction it. Go and take all them diamonds off your wife's ears and auction everything. Put the people money back. It is time to get a real government in this country. We've never had that. We've been voting bands of brigands, corrupt criminals, playing nigger-coolie politics. It is time to undo and redo Trinidad and Tobago. And step one is going and get back everything they stole. And I promise you with everything inside me, that's the reason I am in politics. Because I want to bring those sons of bitches to justice. I want to watch their face. I tell you, you could cry blood. Give us the chance. You own this country. That was your money. Give us the chance. Vote yourself a champion. Vote yourself people that are not on the bullshit game. We don't need this. I certainly don't. Here for one reason, a better country. So that after I shuffle off this mortal coin, my name will be associated with a country that is now first world, developed, paradise on earth. We want that. We deserve a better nation. You deserve a better nation. And if you want that, stand with us. This Saturday gone here at 19 Stanmore Avenue, they come in the meeting that we was having and say, boss, there's more people than chairs. We say, go out in the yard. We put up the tents, we put up the chairs. And the crowd was sweet. Sitting on that head table, the crowd was sweet to look at. This Saturday, come in here, build that crowd bigger. Come out in your hundreds, come out in your thousands. In 4 weeks, we're launching the PEP office in South. 4 weeks after that, we're launching the PEP office in the East. 4 weeks after that, we're launching the PEP office in North, in Barataria. Arima, Barataria, Palmyra. Those are the 3 offices that opening 4 weeks apart. Anybody who has an office in Central and Tobago that would like to make a donation, it doesn't have to be big. 1,000 square feet will do us fine in Central, in Tobago. They just need to be in places easily accessible by transportation, and it has to be in places where people could park. Thank you very much, because we will open Central and Tobago one time. We are opening these offices so that the weekly run, you will pay attention to find out where the meet and greet is this week, because we will meet in town, we'll meet in South, we'll meet in the East, we'll go to Tobago. You can imagine we organize a line and we say we booking whatever is the name of the boat and all, are we going across to Tobago for our grand rally with the people of Tobago. Could you imagine that? A better country is yours. It is within your grasp. It is one vote away. It is one stand up away. Somebody tell me to tell you, listen, you're losing your job anyway. Risk it now. Show them. If all of you stand up and say, stop this shit, the shit will stop. They're afraid you now because they're dealing with you one-on-one. If they was dealing with you 1 million to 1, it's a different game. It's a totally different game. The country you want, the better country you want is on the other side of your vote. The Trinidad and Tobago you need to get, the Trinidad and Tobago you want to leave for your children, only going to happen if you do one thing. Share the video, please. Keep sharing it. Share it.
If it is that who you're voting, crazy or not out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the movement to be only pull them out. When you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the time is now that
change must come about. Just as how you vote them in,
vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Save your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy, vote them out. Vote them out with total skull and utter disdain. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out of power.
terminate the reign.
Let's put our country together again. If for 20 years you voting them in,
And there's only tears as soon as they win.
they give you big words.
And enslave your soul, promising you road and giving bottles. And it can't continue that way. The country that you want, the country that you need, the country that you know that you deserve is on the other side of your vote. Is on the other side of what you decide to do this Saturday coming here. All of us have plans, all of us have families. All of us would like to be doing something other than standing up and standing together. But it calls for that. I want to tell you, and it's not that we don't want to work with other people, but they need to have a plan. They can't be telling you march here, march there, march wrong in circles. You'll get tired. Roger tired him out. Roger marched their ass all over the place with no plan, with no clue. They have a map. Stop the marching and the walking, start the talking and the planning, come together, join. Make sure you're part of something that at the end of the march, at the end of the walk, at the end of the talk, there is something that can happen to make the country better. If you marching with no plan, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? Trinidad and Tobago, the country that we want, that we deserve, we have the power to make it happen. Like I said today, like I said when he said it before, when Peter George and Mario Sabga talk the bullshit about there's the smallest race, but there's the most powerful. And I tell them every time, you're not powerful, brother. If every other race provides you with your labor to run your business, and every other race provides you with the consumption and the counter to put the money in the bank, you ain't powerful. Those people powerful. They're powerful enough to mind your family, but they just don't understand how powerful they are. The day the 99% figured it out, the day the 99% develop self-respect, the day the 99% throw down this racist bullshit and stand together as one people, Trinidad will start to make sense. We're working on getting there. We have good people coming on board, signing on in droves, the fastest growing political party in this country's history. Kid Rowley say he's looking for 20,000 members. You will see them going the other way. Trinidad and Tobago, it is time. It is time. It is way past time. Stand up and be counted. All of them who telling you say enough is enough, that is true. Make sure that you line yourself up with something that has an end game in sight. Be a part of the Progressive Empowerment Party. 347-4PEP, peptrinbago@gmail.com, peptt.com, pep app, PEP, that is the pep app. It's available on all the app stores, free to download. Get involved, get counted, make yourself part of the change that we always knew we always needed. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.